Welcome to the 5th episode in our Tech Manitoba series on basic digital literacy skills. In episode 3, we explored the keyboard and many of its different functions and shortcuts. Now we're going to explore Microsoft Word, which is a very popular document processing program. It's installed on the Computers for Schools CPUs. The Microsoft Office folder is on the desktop. Double-click it to open it. You have all these available for you to learn. What you see on the screen before you is a virtual piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, just like a real piece of paper. You see a flashing cursor on the screen. This is where you'll begin typing. Notice it's 1 inch from the top and left, just like you would leave a margin on a sheet of paper and not begin writing right at the edge. So begin by typing your name and press the Enter key. Now I'll type a sentence, and notice as I type, I don't have to do anything at all at the end of the line. When it runs out of space, it simply puts the word on the next line. This sheet could be larger for us to see it clearer, right? So down here on the status bar, I see that I'm viewing this in 100%. I would like to make it larger. So on the zoom slider scale, I'm going to click on the plus sign several times until I can see the document in a larger view. Look again at the status bar, but on the left this time. Word is keeping track of how many pages I have and how many words and the language I'm using. Do you see the image of a little book? It has a check mark on it because I have no mistakes. Great. Let's make a mistake and see what happens. I'm going to spell the word otter, but with 3 T's. O-T-T-T-E-R. This is a mistake. Notice that the book now shows a red X to tell me I've made a mistake. The word otter is also underlined in red. This gives me a pretty good clue that it's wrong. If you point at the word and right-click, watch what happens. Word is trying to find the correct spelling for me. The first one is correct, so I'm going to click on it. It's a great helper. Now let me show you something magical. I'm going to spell tree with 3 E's. As soon as I hit space, it's corrected. How about if I spell the, T-H-E, as T-E-H? Once I hit the space bar, it's automatically corrected. There are thousands of words that are commonly misspelled or mistyped, and Word has you covered by automatically fixing them for you. It's not just spelling, but spacing. So if you type as the without a space in between, it'll fix it for you. Now let's look at the top of our Word screen. You can see that this is document number 1. It has no name because we haven't saved it yet. We're going to do that now. Click on the tab for File, and then on Save As. The first time you save a document, you need to save it as something, so we use the Save As option. In the left pane of the window, click on this PC, then double-click on the icon for Documents, because this is a document and I want to put it in the document folder, right? Look in the white bar at the top and be certain it's going where you want it. The bottom of the window has a place for the file name. Word is so helpful. It picked up the first word of my document and it figured that this might be a good name. I don't want to name it Lucille, so I'm going to press the backspace key on my keyboard, erase the file name, and type in a new one. First word practice. You can name your files with as many letters as you wish and use spaces, but you cannot use certain symbols in file names. If you try, Word will stop you. Watch. So now, click on Save or hit Enter. Either works. Now look up at the center top section of your screen and the file name shows up. We're going to look at some of the basics of Word. Look up, you'll see that you are on the Home tab. This is just like a file folder tab. The Home tab has below it what's referred to as a ribbon. The Home ribbon in this case. Look closely and you'll see light gray lines dividing the sections. So on the Home ribbon, the first section is Clipboard, then Font, Paragraph, Styles and Editing. Each section does a different set of actions. Let's click on the Insert tab and see what it looks like. The tabs correspond to their names. You can see it also is broken down into sections. Each one will insert a different type of object. Back to the Home tab. You can see that the default font is called Calibri and it is size 11. We would like to try something different. So click on the down arrow by the font and look at all the choices. You can see the right slider or your scroll wheel on your mouse to view all the fonts. They're in alphabetical order and each one is displayed for you to see how it looks. I'm going to choose one and type a few words for you to see and hit enter to make another choice. You can see how different they are. Now let's go back to the default. You'll always find it at the very top. We might want to change the size of the font. So where you see the 11, click on the down arrow and choose another size. I'll type a few words again and change the size again. 72 is the largest size and this produces letters 1 inch high. You can put in any size you want, even larger, by clicking in the size box and typing the size yourself. Let's go back to normal. I'm going to show you how to do something called selecting. So let's say you typed a document and later you decide to change the font or the size. To do this, you select the text and then you change it. So to select, you click your cursor at the beginning of where you want. So if I want to change this paragraph, I would put my cursor here and click. Then holding the left mouse button down, I would drag it to the last character in the paragraph, like this. Let go when you're done selecting. If you make a mistake, just click on a white section of the document and start again. No harm done. Let me show you a trick. To select an entire paragraph, you can just put your cursor in the left margin beside the paragraph and double click it. It does it for you automatically. So I'm going to select this paragraph and then make it bold by hitting the B, bold button. To remove it, just do the opposite. Notice the keyboard shortcut tip? Control and B will do the same thing. Let's select the paragraph again and make the font italics. Now we'll use the underline. This shortcut is Control U. I showed you a moment ago how to increase the font. Of course, there's another method. The large and small A beside the size do the same thing to selected font. The next button has an uppercase A and a lowercase a. Click the down arrow and see what it does. I'll select some text and we'll try these. The sentence case makes the first letter of a sentence capitalized. The lowercase makes all letters small. The uppercase makes them all large. Capitalize each word will capitalize each word. Ignore toggle case for now. It's rarely used. Continuing with the font section of the Home ribbon, look at the tab with a highlighter. Clicking the down arrow gives us different highlighter colors. Just like you would highlight when studying in a textbook, you can do this in Word. I'm going to choose the blue highlighter. And look at your cursor now. It looks like a highlighting marker. I can use it to highlight areas or words in my document. To shut it off, touch the button again. The button beside that is the font text color. So instead of black, which is the automatic color, we can choose another color. And a few different colors. So we've made a big mess of this entire document. Let's erase all of this formatting. If I start at the beginning, hold down my left mouse button, select the entire page, I can use the eraser button. It's located here. You'll notice it doesn't remove highlighting. This we have to do by choosing the highlighter and choosing no color and re-highlighting our text to remove it. Remember to turn it off. Now we've added extra text and made changes, and we want to save these, so we can do these 3 ways. Let's do what we know. Click on File and click Save. Just above the file is a picture of a floppy disk. This is another way to save, by just clicking it. And a third way is to use the keyboard shortcut, Ctrl+S. So you've learned a few basics. Let's close the document. First, we want to insert the date at the bottom for reference. So let's go to the Insert tab. Look for the text section. See date and time? I'm going to choose this style from the options. Before I click on OK on this window, I want to explain something. If you hit cancel, it would cancel what you chose and close the window. If you hit the X in the top right corner, it does the same. So remember, always be curious. Look in windows. You can always cancel or close the window. So to close the document, we click on the File tab. The fourth choice is Close. This will close this document we've been working on, but leave the Word program open. If we choose the final option, the red box, and Exit, we will close the document and exit the Word program. Let's choose that option. Word prompts me to save because we added the date. Click on Save. We're back to the document folder and we can see that our file is in there. I'm going to close this window with the top right X. If you want to create another Word document, double-click on Microsoft Word 2010. Voila, you have a new blank piece of paper. Join us in our next episode where we connect our computer to the internet. Once connected to the internet, the information and resources available are almost endless.